No one foresaw it. Lauren Sanchez suddenly demanded 80% of Jeff Bezos' fortune, about $160 billion, claiming pregnancy as the catalyst that could upend his carefully crafted prenuptial. An empire decades in the making, built with relentless effort, now seemed vulnerable to collapse overnight. Her blunt demand, made publicly without lawyers or private whispers, shocked Wall Street, Hollywood, and global observers. This wasn't a minor marital spat, but a bold, intimidating bid for one of history's greatest fortunes. A move that stunned onlookers and signaled only the beginning of a larger battle. This was only the opening shot of what could become history's biggest divorce battle. If Lauren Sanchez began with such a staggering demand, imagine the secrets and leverage she may still hold. To grasp the shock, consider who she is. Long before Bezos, Lauren was a high-profile TV host for Fox and CNN, a Hollywood insider, and a licensed pilot who flew her own helicopter. She thrived in the spotlight, known as ambitious and strategic in media circles. But her life and Bezos' carefully controlled world shifted dramatically after their romance began, following his turbulent split from Mackenzie Scott. Lauren Sanchez's name rapidly leapt from celebrity gossip columns to the front covers of top business magazines as paparazzi chronicled every yacht escape, private resort visit, and glamorous red carpet moment. Almost overnight, she stopped being simply a TV host and became the partner of the world's richest, most influential man, a figure whose every word could move global markets. In whispered circles across Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and Hollywood, many assumed her future was permanently secured by Bezos' billions. But what they overlooked was that Bezos is far more than a wealthy businessman. He's a strategist protected by a fortress of financial safeguards, a man whose empire, painstakingly built from nothing through Amazon, isn't easily threatened or undone. From selling books in a Seattle garage to launching Blue Origin into space, Bezos built his empire through vision and resources, shielded by elite lawyers, veteran advisors, and an ironclad prenup once considered unbreakable. Crafted by America's sharpest legal minds, the document was famed in financial circles for having zero loopholes. Yet, Lauren Sanchez's bold claim that her pregnancy invalidates this fortress challenges years of legal strategy. If courts accept her argument, Bezos' meticulously protected fortune could crumble overnight, a gamble that casts her as either a master strategist or a reckless risk-taker on an epic scale. A prenuptial agreement engineered to withstand any scandal or courtroom attack was suddenly tested by a single biological twist, sparking intense debate among leading family lawyers and legal experts across the globe. Lauren Sanchez's calculated, very public demand wasn't driven by anger or impulse. It was a deliberate gamble, staking her reputation to challenge one of the world's most heavily fortified fortunes. Should the courts validate her claim, it could trigger a precedent powerful enough to rattle the billionaire elite, forcing a re-examination of once bulletproof asset protections. From New York to Tokyo, observers held their breath. This wasn't about comfort or luxury, but a direct strike at the financial stronghold of Jeff Bezos himself. Lauren Sanchez wasn't after simple indulgences. Her claim to 80% of Jeff Bezos' $160 billion fortune could outmatch the economies of nations like New Zealand or Kuwait. That figure could finance entire modern cities, build vast infrastructure networks, or launch multiple Mars missions. Yet, she intended to extract it from the world's richest man. For Bezos, the demand jeopardized 3 decades of relentless empire building, from Amazon's humble beginnings in a Seattle garage to Blue Origin's ventures beyond Earth, leaving one of history's wealthiest individuals perched on a razor's edge, where a single court decision could collapse his dominance and shrink hundreds of billions into mere tens. Reports claim Lauren Sanchez remained unwavering, delivering her staggering demand as though the fortune already belonged to her. In an instant, Bezos' once untouchable prenup, his elite legal team, and billions in Amazon stock seemed unexpectedly vulnerable beneath her audacious move. News of her challenge swept the globe, sparking equal parts shock and fascination. Leading family attorneys publicly dismissed the idea that a pregnancy could dismantle such an ironclad agreement, yet behind closed doors, a few quietly conceded she might have uncovered a rare legal loophole. Within hours, legal blogs and top journals flooded with analyses, while elite divorce lawyers across the nation began dubbing it the case of the century.
This wasn't just a divorce. It threatened to reshape family law and rattle global finance. Bezos' name extends beyond Amazon, tied to Wall Street, Silicon Valley, and the broader tech economy. Overnight, a personal dispute became a market concern. Investors scrambled, questioning whether Bezos could maintain focus and whether Amazon stock or Blue Origin space projects might falter under this unprecedented legal storm.
Financial analysts began adjusting models to factor in the unthinkable, that the future of a trillion-dollar corporation might be indirectly swayed by a single court's interpretation of a prenuptial loophole. This was no longer just a private dispute. It was a potential systemic risk. Markets that had weathered pandemics and global crises now had to consider the personal life of one man as a variable in economic forecasts.
At the same time, the media turned the story into a full-blown global spectacle. From London tabloids to Tokyo financial dailies, Sanchez's face dominated front pages under explosive headlines like $160 billion, the most expensive pregnancy in history, and the woman who could topple a titan. Television anchors analyzed the prenup as if it were a piece of geopolitical intelligence, while law professors live-streamed panel discussions about its possible implications for billionaire asset protection. Social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook erupted into chaos, with trending hashtags and viral memes spreading faster than the facts.
The online frenzy split into factions. Some hailed Lauren Sanchez as a brilliant strategist who had outmaneuvered the world's sharpest legal minds, calling her move a masterstroke of audacity and timing. Others condemned her as the ultimate opportunist, using pregnancy as a calculated weapon to destabilize a financial fortress. Conspiracy theories flourished. Was this all a power play to influence Bezos' stake in Amazon? Was there a secret alliance behind the scenes? The drama evolved beyond gossip. It became a global conversation about power, gender dynamics, wealth inequality, and the fragility of even the mightiest financial empires.
What began as whispers about a personal breakup had grown into a storm, touching the world's biggest markets, reshaping legal theory, and captivating a planet. The world wasn't just watching Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, it was bracing for aftershocks that could ripple through economies, boardrooms, and history books. To the public, this was more than a divorce. It unfolded like a modern epic. Online commentary split sharply. Some hailed Lauren Sanchez as a cunning strategist who outwitted Bezos, while others labeled her a calculated gold digger leveraging pregnancy. Memes and jokes overwhelmed serious analysis, and opinions swirled about two people most viewers barely knew. Even Hollywood weighed in. Some celebrities backed Sanchez's claim to a fair share, while others defended Bezos and the inviolability of contracts. Leaks hinted Sanchez sought more than money: control over the narrative, her public image, and Bezos' legacy. This conflict had evolved into a fight over reputation, influence, and the shaping of history itself. The fallout could reshape more than one marriage. If Sanchez wins, it might upend how billionaires worldwide draft prenups, forcing insurers and elite law firms to rethink asset protection strategies. Wealthy clients are already rushing to review contracts, and even Amazon's stock faces uncertainty that could ripple through hedge funds and pension plans. Sanchez, once merely Bezos's glamorous partner, has shocked even seasoned elite watchers by demanding 80% of his $160 billion fortune, arguing her pregnancy could void a prenup once thought unbreakable.
This isn't a simple property dispute. It's a high-stakes power struggle over wealth, influence, and a fortune capable of altering history. Jeff Bezos' empire, built painstakingly from scratch over decades, now quivers, not from market shifts or corporate rivals, but from an unforeseen personal shock. If even someone as strategic and guarded as Bezos can be blindsided, what does that say about those who consider themselves untouchable? The fallout has ignited chaos, lawyers clashing on broadcasts, investors convening emergency meetings, hedge funds recalculating forecasts, and social media erupting in memes and debates. Yet beneath the spectacle lies a stark reality. This saga is far from over, and what comes next may be even more explosive and consequential than anything seen so far.